We are at Anfora, and I'm here with Joe Capinal. Today, we're going beyond sangria.
So we're going to make a few cocktails that have wine as a component in them. And wine is a great feature in cocktails. It can add some acidity to a cocktail, so it'll balance out some of the sweetness. It has a lot of complex flavor. I love using wine in cocktails.
And so what types of wines should we use in cocktails? Because, you know, the instinct is just to go to the cabinet and grab whatever you have, but obviously some work better than others.
Yeah. So don't use your fanciest wine that you've been saving in the cocktail. Just like you don't want to use that special bottle of scotch in a cocktail.
Right.
Same idea. Because with all the other components, you're going to lose some of the nuance and intricacy of that really special wine. But use something that tends to be younger wine as opposed to an older wine. Something that has good acidity, because that'll add that component, and something not too expensive.
Right. And are there any varietals that you tend to recommend, or does it really depend on the specific cocktail that you're making?
Malbec tends to be a good one because it has a lot of flavor. It can maybe lack on acidity, but has a lot of good punch into it. You can use white wines, you can use red wines, you can use sparkling wines, rosés. They all work. Yeah, absolutely. Just nothing that's too tannic, which is like really dry.
Right.
Too oaky. You want to stay away from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there other things that people might find surprising that you found go well with wine?
Well, I think that oak-aged spirits go really well with red wine, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of times red wines are aged in oak. So
barrel to barrel.
Whether it's bourbon, scotch, cognac, or any other kind of brandy, those spirits tend to be really good with red wine. For white wines, I would stay away from the oak-aged spirits and go more with your gins and vodkas, white rum.
So light on both sides.
Exactly.
Interesting. So what are we making today?
So we're going to make two cocktails, one with a sparkling wine and one with a red wine. All right, let's start with the red wine cocktail.
Perfect. What are we calling this cocktail?
We're calling this cocktail the Kiki Mori Smash.
Smash.
Smash, because it has a few components that we're going to smash all together.
I was about to say, are we going to smash some things together?
Here we go. So we have, pretty easy, just 5 components. We have great bourbon, delicious red wine that's usually sort of chilled, black cherries. So these aren't maraschino cherries, these are black Amarena cherries. Simple syrup, which is just equal parts sugar and water, and freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Easy enough.
Easy. Add just a couple of cherries, and then we're going to do an ounce of the bourbon, an ounce of the red wine. So the red wine is going to add a lot of great flavor and then a little bit of acidity as well. I want to just muddle it a little bit just to break up those cherries a bit more. And then we're going to go a ½ ounce of simple syrup. You're going to get a little bit of sweetness from the cherries, and then a ½ ounce of lemon, which will give you that acid. So now we have all of our components together. Just add ice. Then the other part of our shaker. Do you want to shake it?
Again. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
So when you shake it, turn it this way so that if you have guests on the other side and it breaks, it doesn't go towards them.
You want it to go on me, okay.
And then the other thing, sometimes I see people shake like this. You don't get as much movement. If you go horizontal, you get a lot more movement.
Okay,
so I want you to shake horizontally.
I feel like
2
I'm
hands.
not being fun.
There you go. That's so the idea of, alright, you're good. So the idea of using the fresh ice is, as you're shaking this, the ice is breaking up, and so you want new fresh ice so it looks better, and so that the drink doesn't water down as quickly.
You could literally put a cherry on top.
And you could, yeah.
You know, this is great, like if you're not a serious bourbon drinker, this is like a lighter, happier bourbon-y wine.
I agree. That's why you can, or if you are a big bourbon drinker, but it's the middle of the summer and you don't want, you don't want
like
a Manhattan or something.
Fireside, like chat. Wonderful. Yeah. All right, so what do we got next?
Okay, so next is one of our signature drinks. It's called a roasted orange Negroni Sbagliato. It's a
oh, that's
total
so
mouthful.
easy to remember. Roasted orange Negroni Sbagliato.
Yeah, it's a big full name.
But worth the whole name.
It really is. So it starts with the roasted oranges. These are oranges that have been marinated overnight in red vermouth, and then we grill them on the plancha. You can do it in a non-stick pan as well. If you get all of these great kind of charry bits, I'm going to put in a couple of these oranges and an ounce of the red vermouth. This is one of my favorite vermouths.
Get a little more wine-esque flavor in the drink.
That's true. Actually, vermouth is also it's wine-based. It's what's called a fortified and aromatized wine.
Muddle that.
Muddle that. Muddle the. We'll add the Campari.
And how much if you weren't eyeballing it?
You generally do equal parts Campari red vermouth, so an ounce and a half, depending on the size of your drink. Okay, I'll shake it. I'll shake it this time.
Have it. Your hand.
I'm not as good at opening it. So if you don't open it right away, you can hit on the side and then it'll eventually come out. But do you see how frothy that is? Okay, so we're gonna put this one in a wine glass. Obviously, if you're using a sparkling wine, you don't want to shake it. You don't shake the sparkling wine. So something I like to do with sparkling wine is actually put it at the bottom of the drink, and then if you put the drink over it, the bubbles will kind of infuse through the whole drink. Yeah, you have all of those charred orange bits.
Thank you so much for teaching us how to properly make wine cocktails beyond our sangria. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
My pleasure. Cheers.